Okay, this is Carl Cartman here. You might remember me from a few years back. I put a lot of videos up on YouTube. And looking over what I've done, I must say most of it is rather mean-spirited and just strident. Like I am the authority at all of this, and I don't feel that way now. I mean, at one time I was an angry young atheist. Of course, I was in my 50s at the time, but never mind that. And now, a few years later, I'm not angry, I'm not young, I'm old and I'm tired. Now, old, tired atheist might probably make a really good name on YouTube. I'm going to look it up and see if anybody has it, and I might just switch to that. It was a little bit more active and a little bit more accurate, and a little more descriptive. And I can't help but wonder, well, what was the reason for my making those videos? And of course, well, to get my ideas out, of course, certainly. But my videos, and like a lot of YouTube videos, they were pretty much made for fellow atheists to see. I mean, Christians, of course, would find them offensive because they were just blatantly, well, they were offensive, in a way. And, there wasn't a single Christian that was convinced. And nor could there be. Because let's face it, we have people who, Christians who would try to evangelize us. And as Rocket J. Squirrel would say, that trick never works. I mean, have any of us been convinced? Have any of us been anything other than completely and totally annoyed with the standard Christian responses, especially the disgusting, I'll pray for you. But, if you reverse the situation, what I've been doing with my videos, and, some of you have been doing too, is, essentially trying to evangelize to them. Trying to convince Christians that they were wrong and that, atheism was a proper philosophy. And it's not working either. Now, it's kind of a funny thing. We're always going to be in the minority. I know this because I remember reading some polls, I think, taken in the Soviet Union, in the 70s or 80s, and they asked people how many people in the Soviet Union were the atheists. And you remember in the Soviet Union they promoted atheism. That was the philosophy. They discouraged religious belief. And even with that, only about 30% of Russians were atheists. And substantial minorities, but still a minority at the same time. Now, the one thing the Christians have, they have church, and of course that is a source of community for them. We don't have anything like that. I mean, there are occasional atheist meetings, and, the YouTube atheist community, which I put in quotation marks, chat rooms, things like that, web pages. But we don't have that sense of community that Christians have. So, I mean, I think one thing we have to figure out is what we can offer them besides just, okay, well, yeah, you're believing a lie now, and all of this stuff. And at the same time, they have a place that they can go and meet their friends and all of this in the weekend. And their family is probably Christian. And it's sort of like, well, they don't really have an inducement to change. And I can say this in my own case. I went out with a fundamentalist woman for quite some time. She called herself evangelical. She'd often correct me when I referred to her as a fundamentalist. But, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But there were points when I was willing to take that leap to irrationality, to drink that Kool-Aid, there are points when I wanted to believe. And just seeing, that she did have a social life, that she did have, that she was happy, or at least she said she was happy. That would have convinced me more than anything else. If I was still going with her, I really can't say what my belief system would have been. I think I probably would have just simply accepted Pascal's bankrupt wager and, gone with that and kind of muddled through it. I mean, you may wonder, yes, she was worth the effort. And I'm kind of wondering if we couldn't apply that ourselves. I mean, if we could just offer them something that their religion doesn't offer them, I mean, other than seeing the world as it is, I mean, well, so what? What advantages are there to them? And just being good people, just showing them that, being accepting of them. I can't picture, I think it would be a good idea just to do that rather than, I mean, sure, these videos, the videos I made, they were fun to make. I mean, my favorite video, oddly enough, was Adventures in Unintentional Humor, Can't Nobody Do Me Like Jesus, which I think was one of my more subtle videos. But everybody that saw it got the point. I highly recommend watching it. Let's get that view count up, okay? And basically, well, I guess I should conclude this by just going over my personal situation at the moment. I'm in the hospital, been in the hospital for 28 days. Had my foot operated on, they put a skin graft on it, and the doctor doesn't want me getting up or walking or going to rehab. And so basically for 28 days I've been lying in this bed constantly. I had the foresight to bring my laptop, and I brought some jewelry making supplies, and I've been making some stuff.